mushrooms. I love them. They're weird, but they're delicious, and you can find them in the forest for free. But unfortunately, there aren't a lot of forests around here, so after not shutting up about them, my friends decided to get me a mushroom grow kit for my birthday, and it was fun growing my own mushrooms for the first time. But while doing this, I started looking into mushroom cultivation a bit more, and it seems that the only reason the mushrooms stopped growing is that they ran out of nutrients in the grow bag. But the mycelium itself is still fine. It's basically just lying dormant because it doesn't have water and nutrition, so if I provide some of that, they should technically be able to grow again. So that's what I wanted to try in this video. I want to see if I can multiply the mycelium myself and make more grow blocks, because then I would have infinite mushrooms for as long as I remember to take care of them. And it seems like a reasonable plan in theory, so I guess I'll just have to try and see if it works. I'm super excited. So for everyone who hasn't been obsessing about growing mushrooms lately, first of all, mushrooms aren't plants, but they do need oxygen like we do, but they also aren't animals. They are just their own thing. And the main part of the mushroom isn't actually the thing you can see, but it's the mycelium, which is kind of like the mushroom roots. And in case of the oyster mushroom, which I'm growing, which is a parasitic mushroom, for trees only, it's not gonna affect humans. They like to grow on wood. And in nature, the only reason for the mushroom to grow out one of these guys is so it can spread its pores and then hopefully move on to more trees. When you grow oyster mushrooms yourself, you don't have to use wood. I think the grow kit I had consisted of coffee grounds and coconut husks, but I'm not gonna start with making a grow kit myself right away. I'm gonna make a thing called grain spawn first, and honestly, it doesn't sound very nice, but hardly any of these mushroom words do sound nice. And for the grain spawn, I need grain. I didn't really know where I can buy grain in Kortrijk, so I went to the trusty store that is Action, and I bought bird food because the internet says that also works. Grain spawn is usually made in jars and then transferred into a bigger amount of substrate to make the actual grow block. So I had my grains and my jars, and now I had to sterilize everything, because apparently for growing mushrooms, everything has to be very clean. Which at first sounds weird because they do grow in the forest. The thing is, I live in a dorm with a shared kitchen, and things can only be so clean. And I obviously don't have a lot of the materials that people usually use, but I'm interested to see if I can still do it. So the first step after gathering everything I thought I'd need was cleaning the jars. Okay, I have eaten the pickles, and now I have to clean all the glasses, which is honestly the reason why I haven't done this earlier, because I really hate cleaning. Do I have to take off the glue before I cook them? I'm in the kitchen now, and technically I would have to sterilize the glasses, but it seems that you do that with a pressure cooker, and I don't have a pressure cooker. So I looked at the prices of pressure cookers, and I will keep not having a pressure cooker. But I think I can also cook the glasses without them exploding, so we will try that. And then we also have the seeds that also have to be pasteurized. And I will also fill some vinegar into the water for the glasses. I don't think that can be too bad. That literally stuck to the ground. I guess I should also clean the pots if I want to have it as sterile as possible. This pot has probably never been this clean. Ich wollte mal eben fragen, kann ich Einmachgläser kochen?
Ja, dann kocht man die sonst ja auch ein. Ich würde die einfach, also dass sie halb im Wasser stehen.
Jo.
Und dann nochmal halb mit Wasser oder 3/4 mit Wasser voll machen.
Okay.
Die Deckel muss dann auch mit auskochen.
Ja, also ich fülle das auf und dann voll und dann fange ich an, das zu kochen. Ne? Ich tue die nicht ins heiße Wasser.
Nee.
Okay. Cool. Danke. Das war alles. I probably have to put a lid on it so that the smoke can do its thing. Probably, but this sticks out. Also, I don't have gloves for anyone wondering, because I went to Action, and Action betrayed me. They had sterilized gloves that were more expensive than they should be for Action things, so I just washed my hands very well. And now I realize I just put my face right in the pot, but I guess this is what we are working with. I'm not sure how much good this does. So now we have to wait. Also, just in case they will explode, should I wait on the other side of the kitchen? So the glasses should be done now. Nothing seemed to have exploded. I'm still alive. I don't want any new stuff in the glasses, so I'm gonna keep them covered for now. And I will rinse the pot, and then we can cook the grains. I also have to check for how long I have to cook them, because according to the internet there are a bunch of different cooking times. One just said until the water is gone, but it didn't say how much water to put. Some articles said you have to cook them till they start popping open, and it should take roughly 45 minutes. Also, I guess this has to simmer and not cook. So we will wait till it starts boiling and then we should be able to turn it down and wait. Also, is it getting bigger? While the mushrooms are doing their thing in the glass, they need air. So we have to give them a little air hole, but because we can't have any nasty stuff coming in here, we also need a filter. But basically we have to put a hole in here and then put a little cotton pad behind it so that all the bacteria and germs will stay out. Okay, so I have this little pocket knife and also a hammer. Also, I started crocheting and it's hard, but I'm not giving up on it yet. I also have these scissors and maybe they are better. I don't want to destroy my scissors. They don't look like much, but they're really great. I had them since elementary school and they still cut everything. Do I have anything else that's pointy? Ah, there's a tiny hole. Very tiny. Okay, we made a hole. The first one is prepared. Oh no, my scissors. The corner is round now. I could do the other side so this corner is also round. Also, what time is it? Not time for the grains just yet, but I shall check on them anyway. Bruh, that's a lot more grains. I can't find any water. They haven't started opening yet, I think. But where's the water? I'll put some more water just in case. I'm back and I'm wondering if I have anything else that is metal and pointy. I have my key. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, it's already through. Okay. Another hole. We are through. Now we have to wait for the grains, so I will eat a snack. I don't think they are opening, but it's been 45 seconds, minutes, so we will use them. And I also realized I need more glasses. And I think that might be pretty good, because that means if one of the batches goes bad, it's just this much. I will have a bunch more that still have a chance. I will fill them up with grain now, and then it can cool off in the glass. And we still need to leave some space for the mushroom stuff. And also I think you don't fill it up to the top, just so it gets some more airflow and that you can shake it. I think this is good. When I'm thinking about what should I do with voiceover and what should I do in real time, it's much easier to be more cohesive and more to the point with the voiceover. This smells kind of like when you go into a pet store. Because with a voiceover I can write down stuff first and then say it. And I can edit it in a way that it's just a bit nicer. And when I'm doing stuff in real time, especially while I'm doing something else, I feel like it's more rambly. Plus, in the kitchen there's a big echo. I think there's probably a good balance of the two, and I just have to find that balance. I bought 2 bags of this because I thought one might not be enough, and this is how much I used. Not a lot. I guess I'll just grab more of these glasses and clean them, and they don't have lids. I will go to the other kitchens and see if I can... Okay, so we have these glasses now, and before I'm gonna look for more, I will also soak the mushrooms a bit, because when you use the grow kit, you're supposed to soak them before you make them start growing, and I think that'll also make it easier to break the block apart, so I will do that now, and I guess I'll just open the whole thing up. And all this white stuff should be mushroom mycelium that's still good. I read about this a lot on the internet, but I'm still not sure exactly what I'm doing. Now to the cotton pads. I have this whole new pack so that it's completely not contaminated. Okay, we have little quarters of cotton. Now we will take some tape so no germs can enter the glass. Very nice. Okay, our 3 glasses are prepared and they are still quite warm. So I will scour the other kitchens for more glasses. That was very successful and I would have liked to bring you along, but my phone is charging. So now I have to clean these. Luckily some are pretty clean and these are still very warm. I'm just gonna wait till they are cold. I think I'm gonna soak the very disgusting ones at first. This I don't even want to open in my room. Like sausage water. Also, someone ate a lot of jam. I'm gonna go to the kitchen and I'm not gonna bring you because the phone is still charging and also my roommates are in there now. Then this happened and I don't know what I was doing here, but I thought you should see this. I watched this clip 5 times and I can't figure out how I didn't notice that I put my hair into the disgusting water. It's been a while since I started soaking the glasses because honestly I'm not looking forward to cleaning them. I really don't like doing the dishes. I will get my gloves. These are also my gardening gloves. It smells like a mix of sausage water and strawberry jam, which isn't so nice. This is also the container I made fertilizer in the other day, and I can still smell it. I'm gonna give all these nasty glasses 2 rounds of cleaning. One with the disgusting sponge for disgusting things, and then one with the good one. Mascarpone! It has onions and tomatoes on the top. The only thing I ever used mascarpone for was tiramisu. Also, why is it so orange? I'm not gonna show you close-ups of the dirt. You know, it's not that nice. Bro, what? I even have rubber gloves on and I still can't open it. But I know someone with very strong hands, so we can go to her now. Can you open this jar for me? Dang. Bruh, thank you.
You're welcome. Oh,
She did it. I'm done with the glasses, so now I will look for a container for all the grains. I don't want to throw it in that one because it hasn't seen a lot of nice things lately. And I feel like that would defeat the purpose of having just some sort of sterilized the grain. But look at how nice and clean this sink looks now. Unlike this one. That should fit all the grain and it's not as gross as the box. I will give it a quick rinse, but then it should be all fine. That's so much. It's a grain and it's a well-cooked grain. There used to be a big pot in the kitchen, but it's gone. Like a wider, bigger, just in general bigger pot. Maybe I can look in one of the other kitchens. First kitchen. Oh, wow. This one? Okay, we have 2 new pots. I'm gonna start them already so I can clean that one while these are cooking. A whole 4 glasses. We used to have a pot like this, but it's gone. This is how it goes with a lot of things here. You have them until you don't. So I'm doing the exact same technique as before. I don't know if it really worked, but the glasses definitely don't explode. The cleaning is not so interesting, so I will just skip it. Oh. It sounds so scary and aggressive. Am I just being a baby right now? Probably. Oh, this is stressing me out. These don't go on low yet because they had a break, and also they don't have a lid. I don't know, should I just... They're so loud. I swear they weren't this loud the first round. We're back and it has been roughly 10 minutes. So we will take them out of the water now. I'll get my other mitten as well. I feel like this is more about cleaning and boiling glasses than anything else. So I will return the pots to the other kitchen. And then we will take the glasses and poke some holes. A few weeks ago, I decided that I'm gonna go on some sort of social media detox. So that contains all the scrolling apps that just take way too much time. And I realized I've seen much less news now. Also, another thing I noticed about the no social media is that it's actually not that hard. I don't really have a hard time not going on TikTok. It's more like once I am on TikTok, that's the issue, right? Getting off of TikTok. But it's been, I think, at least a month and a half now, maybe even 2 months. Yeah, it's going pretty alright. But some of my friends who usually send me a lot of TikToks, and my sister, they seem to be suffering almost more than me. And my sister just sends me TikToks that she saved on her phone now. And I do watch those, because also I can't keep scrolling with those, so that's nice. And I'm probably not doing this forever, but right now I don't feel like I need to go back to TikTok. And with Reddit, turns out that you can still have a nice life even if you're not stumbling upon random porn between insects and humans, so that's good. Is the key getting more round? I don't think so. You know when you watch a YouTuber and they want to try something to see if it works, and then they are like, oh yeah, but I don't have this thing, so I'm gonna cut all these corners instead. And you're like, then you can't really compare it, right? And yeah, I'm definitely cutting a lot of corners here, I feel like. I guess I'm not really comparing myself to anyone. I kind of just want to see if I can do that with my very rudimentary tools, if I can still get more value out of the mushroom kit. Because if it works, then I can basically multiply as much mushroom as I want. By the way, so far I have to say this project is a bit too much cleaning for my liking, and my favorite part so far was to fill the grain in the glasses. We have all the holes now, and we can start filling them up with grain. Another thing that I think is kind of cool about mushrooms is that a lot of people don't like them, right? But they can still appreciate the mushrooms. I hope I have enough mushroom block for all the glasses, but according to most sources on the internet, the ratio between this stuff and the mushroom stuff is 1:10. I really hope this works. That would be so exciting. Maybe someone who really knows stuff about mushrooms accidentally ends up watching this video and is absolutely horrified, like I'm doing everything wrong, and they can tell right away, yeah, that's not gonna happen. It's kind of insane that there's only a month of school left now, or classes. Okay. It's like very slightly above room temperature, so I think that's fine. Now we have to make patches. Everything is prepared for the mushrooms. Where's my towel? The mushroom towel. Ooh, I poked the mushroom. I'm so sorry. Let's see what we've got. It smells like pure mushroom. It's so shiny and perfect. It looks so plasticky. So I guess we'll just break it into pieces and put a bit of it in every glass. Okay, do I cut it or do I use my hand? I think I should cut it. I think it shouldn't be too damaging for the mycelium because it can just grow back. I kind of expected it to be white on the inside. Or is it already dead and I waited too long? Because I was procrastinating on cleaning the glasses. It's very dry still, but there's moisture in the glass. Now I'm supposed to gently shake it. Okay, the first one is done. Oops. It smells so nice. It really smells like mushrooms and forest. I'm guessing the mycelium is in all the parts. Like, there's definitely growth in here, but I also want to add some of the white bits to every glass. 4 glasses left, and I still have so much mushroom. Maybe I'll just go to Action and buy another bag of grains, and then I can fill up the big jar too. I'm just adding the moisture, by the way, because the mushroom block is super dry, and I don't want it to dry out. Okay, all the glasses are filled up, and I still have this much mushroom block left over, so I might really buy another batch of bird food and then fill this one up too. But for now, we're done, and I'm just gonna store them all in this box if they fit. I don't think so. And they should be stored with a temperature between 20 and 24 degrees. First of all, I don't have a thermometer, and I was looking into buying one, but so far I only saw one at MediaMarkt for 14 euros, and I just want a very small cheap one, so I have no idea how warm it is, but I know from looking at the forecast that it's not like constantly 20 to 24 degrees, obviously, because it's April. There's a maintenance cabinet in the hallway, but that's very warm, and I think that's above 20 to 24 degrees because that's where like the pipes run. If I find out where I can buy a cheap thermometer, I could see how warm it is in there and store it there, but for now I think I'm just gonna put them under my bed and wish for the best. See you in 1 to 2 weeks, probably earlier because I'm gonna give you updates. Yeah, I'm really excited. Now, according to the internet, I had to wait for about 2 weeks until the mycelium has fully colonized the jars. So I spent those 2 weeks learning Spanish, finding a little bird's nest in a bike bag on an old bike outside the dorm, fixing my laptop charger, multiplying my mint plant, checking back in on the baby birds, and studying. But even after 2 days, I could already see the mycelium grow. It went so fast and it was super exciting to watch. And after 2 long weeks, it was time. My jars were white now, which meant the mycelium had grown everywhere. So my next step would be to go to the friture and acquire a bucket along with some fries. To make grow blocks and grow buckets, I need substrate. And I have this leftover bag of pellets from when we were trying to make fire in our Action laundry basket on my birthday. And I read that you can use pellets, but only from leafy trees. Otherwise, the oyster mushrooms can absorb toxins. I looked everywhere in the bag, and I even even googled the company, but I just couldn't find out what trees they were using. So I decided to throw on my freshly thrifted old man's fisherman vest and head to the garden center to buy some wood shavings. But on my way there, I passed the big thrift store that everyone is always talking about and that I've never been to. So I wanted to go and have a look, but I accidentally tried entering through the exit.
Okay, thank you.
And that was a bit embarrassing. There was lots of typical thrift store stuff, and I even found jars with holes in their lids, just like I needed them 2 weeks ago, something that looks like an urn to me, and this collection of little Cars books in a box. But to me, the most intriguing thing was this container full of cheap phone cases. This is what my current case looks like, so I could really need a new one. Surprisingly, there weren't a lot of cases for my phone. Only 2 to be exact, so I chose the cheaper one. So here's my phone's old and new outfits side by side. Next up was the gardening center. At first, I could only find bags big enough to last a hamster's lifetime, but then I was also shocked by the prices of everything here.
This store is a bit more expensive than Action.
But eventually I found it. And yes, I did notice that it had lemon in it, so I went back and swapped it for a normal one. There were also some cute rabbits.
I succeeded, but at what cost? Maybe I'm just so used to the Action prices. This whole thing was €6.
Okay, originally I filmed myself filling up the box with wood chips and explaining what I was about to do, but I can't find that video clip anymore, so here we are. Basically, I found a video of a guy explaining how he makes grow buckets without sterilization, and that's what I want to try. But it still requires pasteurization, that's why I have to soak the wood chips in hot water for 12 hours. I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm just gonna trust the process here. Ooh la la, look at them get bigger already. Yeah, look at them just pop up. It's crazy. Oh, that is already boiling. According to the video, it has to be 80 degrees. Personally, that looks like 80 degrees to me. Should I even pour that in a plastic tub that's meant for paper that costs like €1.50 at the Action? Now we can close this and continue on 12 hours. What is this? It's not my day today. Yesterday was so great. Maybe it was too great and the universe had to balance that out. And yeah, this is basically the bucket. I can wash it one more time and then fill it up. Okay, it's been more than 12 hours because I did this yesterday at 3 p.m. and I was asleep at 3 a.m. and then I felt sick the rest of the day. But now we're finally ready. I'm gonna layer some of this and some of the grain spawn into the bucket now. It smells very nice. I'm gonna take a grain spawn glass that looks nice and ready. Okay, I mean it looks like mold, I have to say that. But wait, am I allowed to sniff it? It smells like mushroom. I think we're really growing the right thing here. I'm gonna get a spoon to get it out, I guess. Okay, so this is so exciting. Nom nom. I mean, it does smell like mushroom. It smells like you can just munch on it. And you're supposed to crumble this in small pieces. It's soft. It's actually a bit slimy. And very firm, the way you would expect a mushroom thing to be firm like that. It also sounds very mushroomy. It's a bit sticky. Okay, the bucket is done now. Now we have the freezing bag. Okay, this one doesn't have a lot of mycelium, and I could open another glass, but I kinda don't want to mix the myceliums from the different glasses. But even though they look like proper mushrooms, there might still be a chance they're not, and I don't want to contaminate them. But I guess I can make another grow bag. Now we have this bend and no bacteria can go through the bend. So I'm gonna cut a tiny hole for an air filter. And this one also doesn't get any grow holes until it's done. I don't know, is this suspicious? So I took a little sniff and it actually smells like olives because there were olives in here before, but we're trying it anyway. The parts that don't smell like olives definitely smell like mushrooms. Okay, all the grains have been distributed. It feels a bit like slimy and funny. Ta-da! These are all my mushroom grow blocks. And now we just wait for the mycelium to eat away at all the delicious wood chips. I just realized I forgot that you're supposed to put holes on the bottom of the... Oh! Yeah, that's
That's why. You're supposed to put holes on the bottom for the water to drain. I guess I should do that. Now I'm wondering, should I cut these as well? I guess I should. Oh. That's so much water. Oh. So it seems that I'm paying for the mushrooms with a ton of cleaning. According to the internet, it should take about 2 to 3 weeks for the mycelium to colonize the bag and for the mushrooms to grow. So after I cleaned all the mess, I put the other jars of mycelium in the fridge to keep them fresh for longer. And while I waited, I got to playtest some of my friends' games, watched some high-quality content of my cats that my sister sent me, saw this absolutely terrifying mascot at the drugstore, found some mushrooms, chased down an ice cream truck, and pet some neighborhood cats. Oh, and I studied, of course, because finals were coming up. After just under 2 weeks, I could already see some small clusters forming. So I moved the mushrooms to the window, where they would get all the oxygen they need. Yesterday, these also were like very tiny underneath the seal, but they wanted to grow, so I took the seal off. And I think I'm gonna do that for the other 2 bags too, and then also cut another growing hole on the other side. Even though there's not a lot of mycelium concentrated right now. Here there is, and here also. Okay. They were growing so fast and it was so exciting to watch. I made sure to leave the window open almost all the time, and I sprayed them with water multiple times throughout the day. But eventually, they started looking a bit sad. They had stopped growing and I could see them aging, even though they weren't super big yet, which was a bit disappointing, but I had already come much farther than I expected originally. So I waited 1 more day to harvest them, because then finals would be over, and this would be a nice reward. They definitely looked a bit old and dry already, but we fried them up with salt and pepper, and put them on a baguette with butter and parsley, and they were still very delicious. It was just so nice to eat something I had grown myself. Now I knew that my mushrooms probably hadn't gotten enough moisture, so I asked my roommate if I could borrow his air humidifier, and first of all, that thing is fun to watch, but it also definitely helped with keeping the mushrooms at the right humidity. I think it was still a little too late though, cause this batch of mushrooms also didn't grow very big and looked a bit dry, but it was already much better than the last one. Okay, so this is the outro I filmed, this is my face, this is the camera I filmed it with facial autofocus turned on, and this is my Enderman pillow, which is the only thing that is in focus all the time. So I guess you guys get to look at the Enderman face.
Okay, so this was my first go at the mushroom multiplication, and it went so much better than expected. Mostly because I wasn't sure if I would grow any mushrooms at all. So I was super happy with the outcome, but there's definitely things I can improve. I really underestimated the amount of moisture the mushrooms need. Spraying them every once in a while with this little bottle was definitely not enough. If you look at other people growing oyster mushrooms, they usually have much bigger clusters to harvest, and I'm not sure if the moisture was the only issue here or if I have to improve something else. So this is definitely not the end of the mushroom multiplication, and I'm gonna try again. Even the grow blocks I have right now should still be good to make mushrooms, but oyster mushrooms like colder temperatures, and it got very hot in Belgium lately. Plus I'm also going home to Germany soon, which is why for now the mushroom project has to be put on hold, but as I said, I'm so happy with the outcome so far, and I still have a whole fridge full of mushroom mycelium. I actually have more mycelium than food in my fridge right now. And besides the amount of cleaning I had to do for this, it was so much fun to watch the mushrooms grow because it went so fast. Another thing this video taught me is that while it was fun filming myself in real time talking about the mushrooms, while I was editing, I felt like it wasn't as much fun to watch. And I think I'm better at doing it with voiceover, because then I can make the video a bit more fast-paced. And personally, I prefer that. But that's also part of making these videos. I want to learn something with every video I make. And hopefully going forward, I also really want to work on my camera quality, because I definitely can't just take the front camera of the iPhone and the standard iPhone camera app, because then I get a lot of grain in this corner, even though this room is super bright. But that's for next time. So I hope I wasn't the only one who had fun with this project and that you enjoyed this video, and maybe see you next time, and hopefully that's gonna be soon.